What's up? It is Melissa T, the procrastination bully, with an offer for you. I am announcing a winter sale for the Getting the Win gear store. If you're someone, you've seen our shirts, you like the gear, you like what we're saying, hashtag get on that, hashtag luxury item, all the good things. If you're familiar with these catchphrases and you love them, they resonate with you, go to gettingthewingear.com. I've got a new winter collection that has launched. And I've got some new items there as well. Not just the winter collection, but a few other new items as well. So if you're someone who's navigated the trauma of transition, or if you're just somebody that's looking to beat procrastination in your own life and you want the clothing with the message to remind you that you are a winner and a go-getter, head over to gettingthewingear.com for all your swag. Use the code WINTER for 20% off your order. That's the code WINTER at checkout. There are a lot of jewels in there. So I'm going to distill like some of the loudest ones for me, which is one, acknowledge when it is beyond you. Because like you said, we can kind of tell.
Mm-hmm.
We know what our limits are. Or even if we don't, we can tell when it's too late. Like we can tell when we're in over our head at that point, like, oh,
100%.
okay, I need help.
Yeah.
Even if we don't see where the line is, we can tell when we crossed it. Like, okay, this is I'm out of my league.
There is no shame in saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
When you have a life on the line, please say, I don't know. Say, I don't know, and I need help.
Exactly.
My daughter's life was on the line that night, period.
Yeah. Very important. Very
Yeah.
important. So that knowing when to say help.
Mm-hmm.
And number two for me there is similar to what you were saying just now. Like, don't fear the resources that are available to you, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's in your case, we were talking about medication, or like resources, whether that's facilities, it can be counselors. And if cost was the elephant for you and you were listening, if that was a question that you were wondering, like, wait, I didn't hear y'all talk about that part. Because
Mm-hmm.
for some people, therapy is a very costly thing. There
Right.
are still free resources as of this recording that
Mm-hmm.
are still available.
Yeah.
So use them while they're available. Okay?
100%.
Use them while they're available. But then the other thing that was important in that story is speaking up when necessary,
Mm-hmm.
because you were on your side not getting the answers you wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you weren't
There
getting the
was no
answers you wanted.
satisfaction in what they were giving me.
Exactly. While on the other side, your daughter was experiencing something very different. She was actually getting help.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to speak up and be demanding when the situation demands that. Like, okay,
100%. And don't just blindly trust. Do your research, read and Google. Like, for me, I was capturing the names of the people that were calling me, and I was Googling, and there were parents that were saying, you know, admitted my son, doctor didn't address him for 3 days. The doctor wouldn't release.
absolutely
The
not.
devil is a lie. You not going to take my kid and then tell me I can't pick her up. You haven't listen.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I literally spent so much time like crying and praying and crying and praying and like, help me make the right decision. Tell me what this is. Like, show me what is happening. I, just protect my baby. Like, I have no idea what it was like, the craziest out of body experience. I promise you. But we're good. And she knows her mother's a ride or die, point blank, period. I'm not going to let nothing happen to her. None of them. You know how I am about kids. None of these kids. But I will fight a bear.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Yeah, absolutely. the other peripheral conversation, this is a bit of a broader topic,
Mhm.
but I'd love to hear your thoughts on the sort of Gen Z conversation and sort of the wider topic of multi-generational households. Because
Okay.
here in the West, for whatever reason, that is frowned upon. Like if you become an adult, it is up to it. Like you need to move out of your parents' nest. Like it is a
Mhm.
must. It is frowned upon. What kind
Yep.
of adult are you if you're still living with them? That sort of thing. But if you go east, it's actually advised. You know what I mean? Like it's preferred to live in a multi-generational household, have the parents who become grandparents while, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
having those multiple generations so everybody has who to talk to, who to ask questions,
Mhm.
about different life issues.
Yep.
And, just as a side reference, I was listening to Trevor Noah's podcast and he was talking about this because his co-host Christiana had recently had a kid. This was last year.
Mhm.
And they talked about because they're both from Africa. She's from Nigeria, he's of course from South Africa. And
Yes.
they were talking about like in Western culture, the whole thing is you move out of your parents' household,
Mhm.
and then the con of it is while they're pushing you to leave your parents' household, you end up having to buy back the help you would have had for free had you lived in a multi-generational household. So
Yes.
you're having to hire a nanny or, a babysitter, hire a personal chef if you don't feel like cooking, or
Yes.
pay one of those subscription services if you don't feel like
Mhm.
cooking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas, to quote Trevor, where I come from, we call that an aunt or a grandma or a
Mhm.
sister. You know what I mean? So I'd
Yep.
love to hear your take on that.
That's because I have a very huge opinion on this.
Yeah.
I think
Hugely
it's
valuable.
yeah, I think it's one of the biggest crimes in the African American community that we spend all this time trying to be independent. Um Man, I grew up with Filipino families all around me. I was on the west side of Long Beach. And then I went to school with Indian families and but I've always been around Asian cultures, if you will. And to your point, right? Multi-generational households. And then as you get older and you start to watch the moves that they make and you really look at the emphasis on education, you look at the emphasis on industry,
Hmm.
on family, on how they manage their money. Like it's sad that we have to grow up and then really like open our eyes and really see it. But um I think one of the best things that we could do is figure out how to have a multi-generational household. I think it's genius because it's exactly what you just said, right? You're not putting grandma, grandpa in a nursing facility. They're home. My mother,
That.
God love her, is taking care of my grandmother today. She's
Wow.
99 years old. But
Wow.
mama also still dresses herself, makes her bed, bathes herself. Like mama's a genius. She's going to be here forever. Um, but even now, like at 55, I'm considering moving back closer to my mother. Um, the the whole kids leaving thing. I like having my kids at home. They don't bother me. I think it's about having a space big enough, shared responsibilities, respect and expectations, right? If you've created an atmosphere where um, the kids feel like they're not welcome, like there's a child in my space now whose parent is constantly saying, "Why are you still here? You know I could put you out at any time now." I'm like, but this person pays you rent
Ouch.
and you know exactly where they are. They're either at work or they're in another space. Like you don't disapprove of that person's partner. So why are you threatening to put your kid out? Like that's crazy to me.
That's
Um,
that sends a dangerous message. It makes the
it
kid feel unwanted.
does. So I'll tell you a really funny story because this person is in my house a lot, and he's told me the stories of how his mother has had these conversations with him, like you should be moving out soon, right? And so he's got the app to my garage, so because he comes in and out, he's very much welcome here, and he was like, "Hey, Miss Candace, can I come in the house?" And I was like, "Of course you can. You have the app." And I wasn't paying attention, but the next response back to me from him via context was, "I got kicked out last night." And so exactly, I send back all the capital. What? And he goes, "Of the app, Miss Candace, of the app."
Yeah, context is important.
Context is so important. But my 23-year-old is still at home with me, and he is perfectly content being spoiled by his mother. Um, but I don't mind it. Like I'm that mom that doesn't mind, right? He doesn't bother me. I like the company. It's saving him money. He's figuring out what he wants to do in his career and growing into what he wants to be. I don't baby him. He's a completely independent, full-time employed, rent-paying member of this household. He makes meals for himself. Sometimes I cook. I take care of other things for him. It's fine. The things that I do for him, he knows how to do, but his mom just does it better, quote unquote. And I said, "You're spoiled rotten." He goes, "No, I'm just well loved, Mom." I'm like, okay, whatever. But all of that to say, um, I think a multi-generational household is the way it should be. We've spoken to somebody in our community who has talked about how the Indian families are coming in and buying entire neighborhoods, right? This person does wholesaling and fix and flips. And he said he's been approached by members in the neighborhood that have been like, "When this house is ready, please let us know first," because they're creating neighborhoods, they're creating communities. Um, we spend a lot of time talking now. We were talking before we got on this podcast about owning land and what does a compound look like and how can we begin to bring unity back to individuals and families and creating that village where we're back to really looking out for our brother, not taking care of. I'm not asking you to pay for nothing for me.
Hmm.
I'm saying be there as a friend, be there as a resource, be there as somebody I can go and talk to. Hey, I've got an
Yeah.
emergency. You've got skills. I got skills. Maybe we barter on some stuff. And we're just here to live our life and raise our kids and make sure that we're doing what God asked us to do. Right. Um, I am a big advocate of that. Like that's one of my long-term 5-10 year financial goals is to have land and be able to bring people back together. I remember watching the movie Soul Food, and you go to Big Mama's house and she's got the big Sunday family dinners. Like that's my house
Hmm.
where people could come for meals. They can come and rest. They can come get a conversation. The 15-year-old just had 16 high school freshmen in my house this past
Wow.
weekend. Like I like being that safe space for kids and for families. If something happens, you can come here. And that's how it should be.
Hmm.
Don't fall into the rhetoric that we're seeing on the internet of "I told him he can't come here. Once he's out and blah blah blah." That's
A trauma
God didn't
response.
put you out the kingdom, and his people don't put your family out either.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
sure.
I would love to have a big enough house where you can have separate instant entrances, your
Yeah.
bedrooms, you can lock them, do whatever. But I feel like there should be a communal space where, your family is grounded. It's huge. But not everybody feels like that.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I agree. Um, I'm a person that's big on the space. Like I like having
Hmm.
space.
Yeah. You got to have
But
your
I
own
agree.
space.
Yeah, but I agree with you though. Like there is a safety and a comfort living close enough
Hmm.
to your family members because in my situation, if you've been you watching or listening, been rocking with the show for a minute, I went through a health challenge where I was living separately and away from my parents. I had to come back because
Hmm.
I had a major surgery that I needed to do, and I wanted to be closer to them in case I encountered any challenges during my recovery. And it
Yeah.
turns out like the surgery was more severe than any of us planned. So I was bedridden for a
Hmm.
solid 8 weeks. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
needed to be where my parents were. So for sure, like I agree with you on that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. 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 I think at the end of the day, the bigger message is we've got to spend more time knowing, understanding, and being with one another.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not talking about like the political division, I'm talking about like just humanity.
Mm,
When you find your people, when you find your tribe, when you find your people, you want to be with them.
yeah.
We
That's
talk about the fact that I'm on the other side of the country and a majority of you guys are on the other side of the
all right.
country.
Y'all, we trying to marry
Yeah.
y'all. We trying to very close to y'all.
We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. But you just want to be with the people who get you.
Yeah,
And, we got to go outside. We got to talk to people and have conversations to figure that out. But there are people in this world who get you if
absolutely.
you do the work.
Yeah, and this brings it back around to the swag model, like being self-aware, understand or learn how
Yep.
other people are experiencing you because you don't experience you, and then use wisdom in your
Yep.
decision making. Going back to how we started the conversation with decision making, then exercise acceptance, and of course, be be gracious to yourself and to other people.
And to
Because I
others.
love what
Yep.
you talked about. Um, in one of my older episodes, I talked about the impact our emotions have on our decision making.
Mhm.
And Dr. Charles Stanley, may he rest in peace, taught an acronym called HALT, which is hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So
Mm.
if you
Mhm.
ever find yourself feeling any of those, you're more open to temptation. And then in my episode, I added two others to the bookend. I added a B and an
Okay.
S. So it was
Okay.
BALTS instead of just HALT. So it's bored, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, sad. If you
Yes.
find yourself feeling any of those, you're more susceptible to compromised decision making, like less objective decision making. So I love that you talked
Yeah.
about, have you eaten today? Did you get enough sleep? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like these
Yeah.
are practical things that impact our decision making. So
Thousand
exercising that
percent.
self awareness and that grace is very important.
And
So
you could be in the bed, but scrolling on the phone. You're not resting. You're
exactly.
not resting. Oh, I drank a juice. That's not nutritious. Like
No,
we have to fuel ourselves. We have to move our bodies. We have to get rest. And in this technological age, to say that someone is bored is wild.
wild.
How are you bored, friend? I got work. Call me.
You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? It's it's a difference in the imagination too, because because here's
It
the thing:
is.
here's the thing with human nature: if we're presented with too many options, we choose none. In this
100%.
glut of information, like like the human mind can easily freeze and just put the phone
We just
down.
doom
Like,
scroll. Yep.
yeah, then you just glaze over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and I appreciate you for sharing that. As we wrap up here, I do want to dig into your author process, because obviously you're in the middle of yours. You're
Yes.
you're in the midst of doing your manuscript. So kind of share with our audience what your process has been, and what has worked for you over the course of writing this manuscript.
Sure. It's gonna sound it's gonna sound like I'm being cliche, but it's the self-awareness.
Yeah, hey,
um
important.
it is. It's the self-awareness. I had done like a Hay House exercise a long time ago, where they say set the timer for 20 minutes and then write down all the memories and blah, 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 right? And then you've got your framework, right? Your mind map, where you have us kind of mind map some different things out. Um, and then for me, it's been a lot of self-reflection, like a lot of the sermons that I'm hearing from various pastors, as well as my own home church. Shout out to Pastor Will Sullivan of Endurance Church here in Tempe, um, who has really been like stretching us to really get us to think and reflect. And so all of these reflection moments have been coming forward. And so now it's like becoming super consciously aware of like those thoughts and what did I get out of that situation? And so I'm spending more time. All right, that's a thought. I hit the mic and I start recording. And so I'm not that one that's going to sit here and type for 16 weeks. I can't do it. I type just for work and that's enough. I'm using voice recording where I'm telling the stories. And then as I tell the story, it's causing me to go back and look at what I said. And now I have to fill in the blanks where I used emotional emphasis or there was a pregnant pause, because there's
Mhm.
a lot that's said in those pauses, but you can't hear a pause if you're reading a book. So
True.
now I know I got to go back and kind of fill in those blanks of what I was feeling or what I was trying to emphasize, or the decision that I made in those moments. It's taken a lot for me to get here, because for someone who's not a book writer, because I was corporately trained to be an adult facilitator, I think very linearly. So it's been very hard for me to get started, because I felt like in the beginning, she was born in Galveston, Texas. Like I had to go through all of that. And that's not how birthing a book works.
Hmm.
So I've just really kind of relaxed into the process of just tell the stories, and then we'll figure out which principles and what order they need to go in after you get the stories out of your system. It's taken me a lot to get here, but I feel a lot better about sharing the stories. It's been, I was sharing with another community member of ours, shout out to Dr. Travis Brock. We were talking yesterday about how transformation takes time. And I've been on this self-awareness, mental health, personal development journey for 4 years now. And if someone had told me 4 years ago, hey, Candace, guess what? You're not going to really feel great for about 4 years, like a good solid 48 months of work. We'd have been like, what kind of therapy is this? What? 4 years? Who else you got? Right? Like you don't even you don't think to yourself how much time it takes to really peel back the layers and get through this stuff. But it's taken me like these 4 years to get through some transitions, get through some stuff, get my daughter her healing, to feel like, all right, now this is my time that I can speak and I can shine and I can do all things, because
Amen.
God's out
As you
there
should do.
strengthening me.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I'm glad you brought up the time piece, because that is very important. And one
Yeah.
of the slogans on this show is it takes as long as it takes. I say that all the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why procrastination is such an issue, because the process is the process. Like,
Period.
we can come up with different hacks and cheat codes, but each person is different.
Mm-hmm.
And what we need to grow from the process is different based on the person. So
Yeah.
it for each of us, it takes as long as it's going to take. So you're absolutely right. Like, I'm 2 years into my transformation. So I feel you. Like, I'm still becoming, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I get it.
Oh, 4 years
Um,
later, I'm still becoming too. We're still figuring out some stuff
yeah.
because what you thought you were healed from, if the right comment comes up or someone brings back the right memory, you become a little energetic verbally, and you're like, all right,
That was a
so that
tactful way to say that.
right, wasn't it? I'm working on it. I told you we're healing over here.
Yes. Yes. Become
And then
verbally
you're like, okay,
spicy.
yeah, a little spicy.
A little spicy.
And you
Yeah.
just you realize, all right, so that's a thing.
Yeah.
But then when you realize it's still a thing, then you go, okay, so why was it a thing? Is it because you have a habit of making it a thing? Because you could
Mm,
have chosen not to get spicy in that moment,
very true.
right?
Very true.
Why is it still a thing? Ken, as you know, they don't care. You don't care. Don't waste your energy there.
Hmm.
And it's like, all right, cool. What got me there? All right, cool. All right. So you have another opportunity to be better next time. And there we go. And it's just this constant iteration. Check the voices in your head, check the triggers, and then just keep being better.
Exactly.
Healing is never final. It's
Ooh,
ongoing.
that was a bar. You
It's the
listening and
truth.
watching, write that down. Healing is never final. It's
It's like the
ongoing.
passionate pursuit of perfection. It's never
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's
really
good.
good. Yeah. That if you get nothing else out of this interview, take that one. Like, that was a great way to sum up everything we talked about. Like, healing is never final. It's always
Mhm.
ongoing. Because that feeds into what you're talking about with decision making, like what you're gonna be breaking down in your book. Like, even with that, because some people will make a decision with the expectation that, okay, this is going to be it. Like, once I get this thing, once I accomplish this one goal,
Yep.
everything else will be well. And it's like, wait. There might be some nuance there. There might be an unforeseen consequence, an unintended consequence. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
The detour.
There might be a detour. And as you
Right.
mentioned, you might encounter something that you thought you were healed from that might re-trigger you. So there's that. This is the
100%.
importance of having a who. If you've been watching this show for a while, I always talk about that.
Yeah.
Having at least one person in your corner. Even if you don't have a community is better, but
Yep.
have at least one person that you
Yeah.
can fall
Yeah, for
back
sure.
on.
You have to have, we cannot continue to do life independently.
Mm,
We cannot continue to do life independently. It
yeah,
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
yeah.
My pastor said something super impactful this weekend, and he talked about like God being our shepherd king and we are his sheep. And he
Mhm.
goes, what is a sheep without a flock? In trouble.
Facts.
If you
Facts.
are out here in this world trying to solve things by yourself, make money by yourself, run your business by yourself, just be a better person by yourself, you're in trouble. You will only get so far.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. You have to have a
Um,
who.
yeah, ET actually taught us that difference between being independent, like independence and freedom. Like,
Mm,
what we want to aim for is freedom, not independence. Because with
100%.
independence, you are solo, as you're saying. Like, freedom is what you're really after, because then you're able to make the decisions you want, get the outcomes you desire. But when you're independent, you can, like you said, you can only go so far. So there's a big
That's
difference
it.
there.
Huge difference.
Huge
Yeah,
difference.
that's why I have a community. I got
Amen.
my people.
That's right. So, speaking of community, where can people find you, follow you, join your community, learn more about you?
Sure. The website is Strong Future Services. You'll find more about, you know, website systems, all that other good stuff I spoke about in our very first episode together. That is still there. It's still an ongoing thing where I'm helping organize a visionary mind. Um, you can find me on Instagram at THEE Candace Mackey. And I actually do have a community that I'm opening up where if you want to talk about your vision, you want to talk about organization, systems, all the fun things that organize your life and your business, you look for the Strong Future Society coming soon.
Awesome. Coming soon, y'all. So, watch this space and make sure you go follow her and watch her space. So, when the community opens up, you can join. Because I will say, like, Candace is one of the safest people in the world. Like,
Hmm.
she and I are cut from that similar cloth. People find me a super safe space because I listen a lot. Like,
Hmm.
just no judgment. Like, say what you're saying. You'll likely come across your own solution the more you talk through.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, talk through your feelings, talk through the frustrations and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely
Hmm.
follow her. She is somebody that you want to know. Absolutely. So, Candace,
Thank you,
thank you
love.
so much for your time. I appreciate you. You are always welcome back on the show.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I have had a fantastic time. Thank you for letting me share. I hope your community got a lot out of what I was able to give to them today.
Was that an awesome conversation or what? Be sure to tune in next week. I always have great conversations on this show, of course, the Getting the Win show, whether it's me dropping gems just solo or if I'm sharing the mic with some other brilliant people. But as always, come on back. Come always ready to take notes because there's always gems. And everything you need from what you heard in today's episode will be in the show notes. So be sure to go down in the show notes, follow those links, click, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube at Getting the Win. You can follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Threads at Getting the Win Show. I am on TikTok at Melissa T. Writes, and I am on Spotify. Just look for the Getting the Win show on Spotify. And as I mentioned in a couple of episodes now, I'm also on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for quite a while, but yeah, you can find me over there at Melissa Thomas, first name, last name. And of course, that is with 2 L's and 2 S's. So again, be sure to come back next Wednesday for another value-packed episode, and have a great and productive rest of your Wednesday today and a great and productive rest of your week. Peace.